We hear it all the time, right? The robots are coming for our jobs. But what if that's not actually the whole story? Let's talk about what's really happening with work in the age of AI. So let's just get right to it. Is AI coming for your job? I mean, this is the big question, the one we see in headlines every single day. And it feels like a simple yes or no. But the real data, well, it tells us a story that's a lot more about opportunity than it is about replacement. Yeah, the data points to a very, very different story. You just have to look past the scary headlines. When you dig into the actual numbers, what you find isn't a story about people losing their jobs. It's about jobs being enhanced and a ton of new opportunities popping up. And we're not just pulling this out of thin air. Everything we're talking about today is based on the 2025 Global AI Jobs Barometer from PwC. And get this, they looked at almost 1 billion job ads. This is real-world data, showing us what's actually happening out there. And the first thing that jumps out is this number, 3 times. What is that? Well, it's how much faster productivity is growing in industries that are all in on AI. We're not talking about a tiny little bump here. This is a massive leap in how much value people are creating when they have these new tools to work with. So, how is that even possible? Well, that gets us to the real productivity story. And it really comes down to two big ideas that are completely reshaping how we work. Okay, so you've got augmentation versus automation. Think of augmentation like this. AI is your co-pilot. It's there to boost your skills to help you make better judgments. Then there's automation, which is when AI takes over a specific repetitive task. Now, most of the fear out there is all about automation, right? But let's look at what's actually happening. Let's make this real. The report gives us a couple of great examples. First, meet Amina. She's an analyst. Her job is being augmented. AI now does all the tedious research and drafts initial reports for her. This frees her up to focus on the really important stuff, high-level strategy and talking to clients. Now here's John, a customer support agent. His role is getting heavily automated. AI handles all the simple, easy questions now. But here's the twist. He wasn't replaced. Instead, John now deals with the really complex, tricky problems that require a human touch, making him way more valuable to his company. And what's happening with Amina and John isn't just a one-off. Look at this chart. It shows job growth, and here's the kicker. Jobs are growing for both types of roles, the ones that can be automated and the ones that can be augmented. So no, AI is not just wiping out jobs. It's changing them, and in the process, it's creating a whole lot of new value. Okay, so if we're creating more value, what does that mean for us? For our paychecks? Well, it means higher wages. And this isn't some far-off prediction. It's happening as we speak. This chart lays it out perfectly. Wages are growing twice as fast in industries that are heavily using AI compared to those that aren't. The connection is crystal clear. More AI adoption is leading directly to higher pay. And if you have specific AI skills, we're talking about things like prompt engineering or machine learning, well, you can expect a wage premium of, on average, 56%. 56! And just a year ago, that number was only 25%. That just shows you how incredibly high the demand is for people who know how to work with this tech. But of course, there's a flip side to this huge opportunity. All this extra value, these higher wages, they don't come for free. They demand a whole new set of skills. We are right in the middle of what you could call the Great Skills Reshuffle. You know, this quote from the report really nails it. The challenge, we believe, is not that there won't be jobs. It's that workers need to be prepared to take them. So the real focus shouldn't be on a future with no jobs. It's about getting ready for the jobs that are coming. And this change is happening fast. In jobs that are most exposed to AI, the skills required are changing 66% faster than in other jobs. And that rate has more than doubled in just the last 12 months. It's really accelerating. The report has a pretty dramatic name for this. They call it the skills earthquake. And it's a good name for it because it's a total, fundamental shift in what companies are looking for. And it's happening right now. And this earthquake is causing some other tremors too. Take a look at this. The demand for formal degrees is actually going down, especially in these jobs that use a lot of AI. What does that tell us? That employers are starting to care a lot more about what you can do, your actual skills, than about where you went to college. All right, so let's tie all of this together. What does your AI-powered future really look like when we stick to the facts? It's time to put the fears up against the facts. So, fear number 1, AI is going to kill jobs and drive down wages. The fact?
Job openings are actually growing, and wages are rising twice as fast in AI-heavy fields. Okay, fear number 2. AI will de-skill us, turn us into button pushers. The fact? It's actually making jobs more interesting, requiring more complex, more creative, and more human skills.
So here's the real story, the bottom line. First, AI is a huge productivity booster. Second, that extra value is translating into higher pay and more jobs. Third, the jobs themselves are changing fast. And that leads to the final point. Skills are the new currency. What you can do is becoming more important than your diploma. When you look at all the evidence, it becomes pretty clear. The future of work isn't about replacement. It's about adaptation. It's not about humans versus machines. It's about humans being amplified by machines. The challenge isn't to be afraid of what's coming, it's to get ready for it.